Number 18, we got x squared minus 12x plus 36. Let's look for a GCF. I don't see one. We have a trinomial. So it looks like we're either going to use the Katz method or modified grouping. They're very similar. Let's pretend like we're grouping it. So we're going to take a 36 times a 1 there, even if there isn't a 1. So we have positive 36. They had to add to negative 12. Looks like negative 6 and negative 6. This is actually a perfect square trinomial. So we can just write it as x minus 6, x minus 6. And we can rewrite that as x minus 6 quantity squared. If you want to do it the official grouping method, modified grouping, you can do that. It's just extra steps. If you do x squared minus 6x plus 36, you can do this. GCF out of negative 6 here, you get x minus 6. So our final answer is the same, x minus 6 times quantity x minus 6, which is also written as x minus 6 squared. So when you think about it, if you find these, if you start it off as your modified grouping, but then just once you get your numbers, you just put them in here and here. You don't have to worry about regrouping and GCFing stuff out. That's just wasted motion. Let's look at number 19. We got 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. That's a trinomial. I'm going to look for a GCF. I don't see one. So I'm going to have to do modified grouping. What I'm going to do is take this number times this number. 16 times 9 is 144 positive. I need something that works out to positive 144 and adds to positive 24. That looks like positive 12 and positive 12. So I'm going to get 9x squared plus 12x plus 12x plus 16. This is a perfect square trinomial, just so you know if you happen to see that. The square root of 16 is 4, square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12, times 2 is 24. So that would work as a perfect square trinomial. We'll group it though. I'm going to pull out a 3x. I get x plus 4. I'm going to pull out a 4. I get 3. What do we got here? 3x and x plus 4, and then I pull out a 4, and I get 3x plus 4. We must have done something wrong here. I'm sorry. There's a 3x there. If you caught that, good for you. I missed it. I pull out I still have a 3x inside. So it just becomes 3x plus 4, 3x plus 4, which again is 3x plus 4 squared. Please don't forget that if you have a binomial like this with a positive or negative sign, squared, you have to write it next to itself and FOIL it if you can't do it in your head. You do not just distribute this to get 9x squared plus 16. That's absolutely incorrect. And please don't make that mistake on a test. Number 20. Negative 4x squared plus 25q squared. We can either factor out a negative, but the easier way is just to rewrite this as 25q squared minus 4x squared. Now it's a difference of two perfect squares, so we can rewrite it as 5q plus 2x, 5q minus 2x. That's our final answer. If we wanted to factor out a negative 1, we could. We get negative 1 4x squared minus 25q squared. So remember, this is going to come down. So we end up here with 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5, 5q, 2x minus 5q. Pretty similar to what we have there, except once we distribute this negative 1 back in, we're going to distribute into this one because that's going to get rid of a negative. So if we factor this into here, or distribute it I should say, we get 2x plus 5q from here, and then this one just switches, so we get 5q minus 2x, which is the same thing we got up here. This way is a little bit longer, but will still work if that's the way that you happen to see it. Let's do number 21. 16x to the 4th minus 1. I'm going to look for a GCF. I don't see one. I'm going to realize it's two terms. I got a difference. This is a perfect square of 4x squared. This is a perfect square of 1. So I'm going to rewrite it. 4x squared plus 1. 4x squared minus 1. Then this is done because it's a binomial with a plus sign. Can't do anything there. I'll just bring it down. This is going to become 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. That also is a difference of two perfect squared. Please don't miss these. If you got a binomial with a negative sign, watch out for a difference of two perfect squares. 22. This is 4x squared minus 24x plus 36. I'm going to factor out of 4 because there's a GCF of 4, and I get x squared minus 6x plus 9. I have to figure out what to do here. It's a trinomial with no term there. I'm going to take this positive 9. What multiplies to positive 9 and adds to negative 6? That's negative 3 and negative 3. So I'm going to rewrite this part. I'm going to bring this 4 down. I'm going to rewrite this part as x minus 3 because of that negative 3 and x minus 3 because of that negative 3. I could group it, but it's just more steps. This is just easier. Once you find the numbers that you would group it with, you just kind of put them in.